often when we have a negative thought spiral, then we're shaming ourselves on top of it that we're having the negative thought spiral. And then you end up spiraling about the spiral. So instead, how can you bring in loving compassion for this part of you? Because this part of you is asking to be felt, it's asking to be seen, and it's typically a much younger part, right? So it's a little inner child. So how would you treat a child if they were going through what you're going through in this current moment? We're back, baby, with a brand new season of the It's Fucking Spiritual podcast. Join us each week as we have unfiltered conversations about how to transform your life. Our mission is to usher in a new era of spirituality where you don't have to be all love and light to live a life of alignment. Here, we honor all of it, the profound and the profane, the magic and the messy, and all things that make you human. So let's discuss the truth behind transformation and be unapologetic in our evolution. From manifestation to money, embodiment to energy, and all taboo topics, nothing is going to be off limits. Are you ready to live a life that feels just as good as it looks? Let's get fucking spiritual. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another solo episode of the It's Fucking Spiritual podcast. I am really loving doing these solo short little nugget episodes recently. It's super fun for me. And I've mentioned previously that I'm going to get into some more esoteric woo-woo concepts, which we are going to, not today, but I am very, very excited for that. So comment below some of the more woo things that you guys want to see. If you want me to talk about angels and spirit guides and more about Kundalini awakenings and energy, like let me know what you guys are interested in hearing, because I feel like we're going to get really weird on It's Fucking Spiritual here, especially in 2025. So I'm super excited for that. But today I wanted to give you a little short and sweet nugget. If this is something that you've been dealing with or that you can come back to in a moment when you are, and that is, how do you get out of a negative thought spiral? This one is near and dear to my heart because as someone that has previously been a chronic overthinker, a chronic worrier, a chronic anxiety looper, someone who have been diagnosed in the past with OCD, with obsessive compulsive thoughts, and different. Listen, just know I get it. Okay, I get it down the spiral, and it's something that I always say is I teach this work because I've needed this work. I teach this work because these are the things that have helped me. And the only thing I've ever wanted from this show is to make people feel seen, heard, and less alone, and to know that there is a way out of the messiness of our own minds and psyche, and there is a way to come back into more wholeness and truth and love within ourselves. And it's my life's work and mission on this planet to share my experiences and to hopefully help you in yours. And this is something that I personally have dealt with quite a bit in my life. And as I've gone on my healing path, it happens less and less and less. I don't really get into many negative thought spirals or shame spirals anymore in the way that I used to. But I certainly am not immune to having bad days or negative thoughts by any means, but they don't have the same grip or hold on me that they used to. And so I know for a fact that this work works. And I wanted to give you a little nugget of wisdom of what helps me in these moments. And first, I just want to say as a caveat, if you're in a really dark shame or negative spiral, if you clicked on this video because that is currently something that you're going through and you need additional support and help, always reach out to a friend or a therapist or somebody that can support you, because you don't have to do that alone. And you shouldn't do it alone. So obviously this podcast is a great start. I hope you feel my heart and my soul going through the ethers of the internet with you right now in this moment, but also reach out to a human that can support you in these moments, because people are generally good humans and want to help you. And I know that there's people that can support you. So if you ever need like professional help, I definitely just encourage you to get that, because it's something that has definitely helped me massively on my journey. But a practice for me when we're in a negative thought loop, right? When you're in some type of obsessive loop. And maybe it's sparked by a specific circumstance. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like a generalized thing. And you just wake up one morning and just feeling like you're going into the depths of despair. Or maybe it's something that's sparked by an acute circumstance, like a breakup or something happening at work, or, worrying about something very specific. What I find is anytime that we're in a thought spiral, what that says is that we're living in our head instead of our body in that moment. And we're often trying to ruminate, or we're figuring it out, or we're trying to and we're overthinking and overthinking. And I've said this on the show before, but overthinking is under feeling. And so what it's asking of you in this moment is to actually feel what you haven't felt. So if you're in a negative thought spiral, what are you pretending not to know? What are you not allowing yourself to feel? And step one of this, ask yourself the question, what am I not allowing myself to feel? And breathe deeply into your body. And for a moment, see if you can just find sensations in your body. You can do this through a body scan. And if you want a body scan meditation actually to support you in this, we have one in the show notes. So go download it. It's free, a free resource for you. And that will take you through your whole body, but you start at the top of the head. Breathe deeply into your nose, out through your mouth, and bring your awareness down the front of your face, down your shoulders, down to your heart, your stomach, the seat, and out through your legs. And that was really, really fast, but I have a full 20-minute body scan that'll take you through it really slowly. But I'm just saying that for the sake of time, but breathing in and out through your nose and just noticing sensations. And what that does, even if it's for 10 seconds, even if it's for 5 seconds, even if it's for 3, it takes you out of your brain, out of your overthinking mind and your overanalytical mind, and it brings you into the present moment in the body. Because we can't exist in two places at once. So you can't exist in the negative thought spiral at the same time that you're existing in the body. So that's step one. Briefly interrupting this episode for a very special announcement. If you are someone that has been loving this podcast, that you love this work, you really are ready to deepen in your own feminine embodiment journey. You are ready to expand your capacity to receive abundance and what you desire in your life. And you want to do it all in sisterhood. And you want to travel out of the country. Drum roll, please. I invite you to join us in Costa Rica in May of 2025. We have officially opened the doors for our Costa Rican Expanded Woman Retreat, where we are going to spend 5 days and 5 nights together in the jungle of Costa Rica and just go really deep together in sisterhood. So if you have desired to attend one of the It's Fucking Spiritual retreats and you want to join us in Costa Rica, it is going to be such an incredible time. There's going to be organic food. There's going to be deep workshops and so much bonding and sisterhood and beach bonfires and excursions and all of the things. And honestly, you guys, every single time that I have taken the leap and gone to something in person, my first ever retreat as an attendee was in Costa Rica. And that is where this podcast idea was actually born. And so every single time that I have chosen to take the leap and I've gone somewhere in person alone and nervous and ready for my expansion, there is so much transformation on the other side. It is honestly how I have built my life, has been from taking multiple days to go really deep, to receive reflections in sisterhood, and to really claim what I want out of life. And I invite you to do that with us if it's something that's calling you. This is by application only. So definitely go and fill out the application in the show notes. There's going to be so much information about the retreat, the dates, pricing, all of that in that application, and go and take a look. And if it's calling you, definitely apply. Even if you're on the fence, definitely apply, and we will review your application. And if you have any questions, you can email us at support@rachelgibler.com. And we hope that we will get the chance to meet you in Costa Rica in May. In step 2, I find that pairing the deep breathing and the being in the present moment in the body, along with um, giving yourself some form of affirmation, can be really helpful. And I want to say that it doesn't mean that it's going to cure it. It doesn't mean that it's going to go away, but it is going to mean that it's going to support you, even if that's just 1%. And even if you have to practice that over and over, and even if you have to play the body scan multiple times a day, if that's available to you, and allow yourself to feel what you haven't felt, and just be with it and hold yourself in it. And then bring in some loving compassion, bring in approval for the shame spiral or the negative spiral that you're in. Because often when we have a negative thought spiral, then we're shaming ourselves on top of it that we're having the negative thought spiral. And then you end up spiraling about the spiral. So instead, how can you bring in loving compassion for this part of you? Because this part of you is asking to be felt, it's asking to be seen, and it's typically a much younger part, right? So it's a little inner child. So how would you treat a child if they were going through what you're going through in this current moment? Bring in loving compassion and approval and awareness for the part of you that is having these thoughts. And then through getting into the body, into your breath, bringing in love, you can bring in affirmation, which I'll share with you right now. So let's do it together. Okay, taking a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more deep inhale in through the nose, becoming present to your body sensations, out through the mouth. And just taking a moment to be present with the negative thoughts that are here. I understand that there's negative thoughts here in this moment, and I understand that I'm ruminating on something in my life. And that's okay. I know that nothing that I'm going through ever lasts forever, and I can find okayness in my body in this moment here and now. And it's okay that I'm overthinking, and it's okay that I'm going into a spiral. I'm really proud of myself for actually showing up for myself in this moment and taking a moment to breathe deeply into my belly. I trust that this won't last forever, and I trust that I will be able to get out of it. And I call on the spirit of love to speak through me. I call on the spirit of wisdom to speak through me. I call on the spirit of trust and surrender to be in my body here in this moment and trust that whatever it is that I'm going through here and now is actually serving a purpose, even if I can't see it yet. And whatever I'm going through, I know I'm going to be okay. Maybe you want to put a hand on your heart or a hand on your belly and just be with those words for a moment. Notice if they made you feel any calmer, or notice how they made your body feel as I shared them with you. Notice if any part of you rejected them and bring approval for that. Let it land in your system and share gratitude and feel the gratitude for yourself here and now in this moment for pressing play on this podcast today and for doing the work that you're doing in the world, because not many people are doing that. Not many people are willing to go into the shadows of what they go through and have a desire to transform and alchemize their pain. And you're one of the people that does, because you pressed play here today. And that's something that you can be proud of. And that's something to have gratitude for with yourself. So I hope that this practice was supportive for you today. Being able to just feel into whatever it is that you're going through, and support your body and your being in the moment. And what I just shared was just something that channeled through me here, sitting here now, but you can do that for yourself of whatever it is that you need to hear, and practice actually supporting yourself in these moments and see see what happens. And I think the most important piece is don't have an expectation that it's going to cure it completely, but instead just have gratitude for yourself for doing the practice and bringing loving compassion and approval for anything that comes up for you in that process. So, with that, I hope this episode was supportive for you today in any of the negative thoughts that you might be having. And yeah, if this resonated with you, definitely share it with a friend that you think could benefit from it. And go into the show notes too and download the body scan meditation because I have a feeling it will be very helpful for you. So, with that, thank you so much for tuning in today. I love you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to the It's Fucking Spiritual podcast. I am so glad that you're here. And if this episode resonated with you, I invite you to share this with a friend that you feel needs to hear it. And if you are really feeling the love and support for this show, this podcast thrives off of your listens and your reviews. So I would love if you could leave us an honest review. We would love to hear your feedback, your thoughts, your questions, and it helps us get this podcast in the hands of more people and would mean so much to me to receive your support. So thank you.